Hey everybody, it's Matt from You and Your Horror Movies, and welcome to my end of the month haul for my pickups for the month of January for horror DVDs and Blu-rays. So let's get on with it. I hope everyone's having a safe so far, staying warm, do what you need to do, get rid of that COVID shit. Come on. So other than that, let's get on some films, because that's what we're all here for. Right off the bat, we have 12-Hour Shift. This movie was not good. I don't recommend this movie. It's not really a horror film, too. It's more like a dark comedy. And I work in a hospital. It just didn't look like a hospital to me. It looked like more of a doctor's office. A just it just didn't look right. The movie itself didn't flow right. It did have some funny moments, but it doesn't really have any really horror aspects to it. Maybe the harvesting of organs, but other than that, I don't recommend this movie. So yeah, that's not going to be staying in the collection. Next up from Vinegar Syndrome, we have the AGFA Horror Trailer Compilation. This is a bunch from Vinegar Syndrome that they released these AFGA releases. So now we're going to trailer comp. So very cool. I'd love to have trailer comps in the collection. When you used to have parties, they're great for the background, but right now there's background noise if you just want to turn around and watch a trailer. Right? Next we have is All Hallows Eve 2. Now this one does not include or does not have Art the Clown in it. It's completely different movies. It's more of a different type of anthology, but it does take place on Halloween. And I wanted it just because I wanted to see it. I like anthologies, and it wasn't bad. There were some cool stories, but it does not have art. But again, the Killer Pumpkin scene was pretty cool. Next from Scream Factory, we have Baba Yaga. Don't know anything about this one. I found it dirt cheap at Soundgarden. So if everybody's seen Baba Yaga, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. From Mondo Macabro, we have Blood Ceremony. This is from the 1970s. I think this is a Spanish horror. So yeah, can't wait get this one to watch. Numbered, I got 130 out of 1,000. They're very thick. It's very heavy too. It's got like postcards, and there's a book in there. So that's what Mondo usually does. So yeah, can't wait to check these out. Love these weird, obscure Euro horror flicks. I got a bunch of Scream Factories here. We have Brain Dead. Found again cheap at Soundgarden, so I scooped it up because I did not own it. Also scooped up the Brides of Dracula. So I figured, again, another one I didn't own. Gotta love some horror, Hammer horror. Amazon had this for cheap. That's the Cat People. This one is the remake. And this was in the 80s. And later on, the early ones, I think Criterion released the original. So I got to scoop that up. And then there was a sequel to that one. So I did not own the remake. And of course, it was cheap on Amazon. Usually when these older titles get cheaper, that means they're probably getting low on the print run. So I decided to grab it. Next is more of a comedy, but it does have some horror aspects to it. And that is National Lampoon's Class Reunion from Kino Lorber. So I'll be putting this probably in the comedy section. But I wanted to show this one off. I love the weird slapstick horror, so that's going into the horror comedy section. Next up, we have The Cleansing Hour. Awesome flick. This is put out by Shudder. So if you have Shudder, you can watch it right on there. Awesome possession film. I like the storyline, how they did it. Right now, it's only on DVD, so when it does get a Blu-ray, I will definitely be upgrading that to the Blu-ray. The movie was so fun. So if you haven't seen it or are on the fence, highly recommend it. And another one I recommend is Come Play. This one is a new film. I guess it was in the theaters for a little bit, but unfortunately got a cool release. And this one is about this kid who is got severe autism. The family's not doing so well. He has this cellular device where he can communicate with. Well, I guess there's this demon / creature that lives in like a different universe than us. Like it's like a parallel universe, but it's all by itself. And once it reads its story, it starts to unfold where it can use this story as a window. Then keep going. It uses our electronic devices as doorways to pull people in. It was actually really well done. I really liked the story on this, and the acting was really good. Kind of like Babadook, but not as annoying. So, if you're between the Babadook and this movie, I recommend this one more. But again, this was a fun flick. I like the whole aspect of autism and the creature and everything. Pretty cool. From Vinegar Syndrome, Cthulhu Mansion. Finally, been after this movie for quite some time. I know it's only can get like on a VHS or a bootleg, and now we got a beautiful Blu-ray. I watched it. It's awesome. If you're into H.P. Lovecraft, go dig it. I remember on, I think it was badmovies.com, they talked about this, how so many people die, and yeah, it's all practical. A lot of gooey, gory, fun stuff from the 80s is on here. Thank you, Vinegar Syndrome, for releasing Cthulhu Mansion. Very happy to have that. Next is a blind buy, The Dark and the Wicked. If everybody's seen this one, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that, if it's worth a watch. Another obscure flick that I had on bootleg, can finally get rid of, that is The Dark Tower. Nothing to relate with the Stephen King movie. This one is another one from the 80s. It's got Michael Moriarty in it, you know, from It's Alive movies, The Stuff. I think he was in Q, the Winged Serpent. So yeah, this one's about Michael Moriarty's character. He's a cop, goes to these towers to to investigate weird deaths, decapitations and shit. It's a really good flick. I had a good time with this, so I can't wait to watch this to see how the transfer is. Goodbye bootleg. So yeah. Another upgrade from Siren. We have Dead Kids, also known as Strange Days. Strange Behavior. Sorry, Strange Behavior. I had this on a DVD set. It was like an Australian box set. So now that is out on Blue. So goodbye to the box set, because I got the other movie in this setup too. From Code Red, we have The Devil's Wedding Night. I never had the original release, so they re-released it again. So of course I grabbed it and give this one a shot. If anybody's seen this, I'd like to hear your thoughts. This was super cheap, like $1. I don't know. Do you want to know a secret? Looks like a slasher. So if anybody's seen this slasher, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. When I saw Joseph Lawrence on there, whoa, okay. We'll see how that goes. Next we have is The Four Skulls of Jonathan Drake. Yeah, they had a sale. They had a whole bunch of older releases on their website for like cheap, a couple bucks here and there. So I grabbed this one among others. Next up, I found at a game store. I got for free, called Frightmare. That was like another slasher. If anybody's seen this one, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that Frightmare. Is it worth it? Is it not? From Soundgarden, this was only $5. Figured for season 1, I'll dive into it. Fringe. I have never seen the season of Fringe. I think I remember seeing like an episode here and there. I heard it's got a very X-Files vibe to it. So if anybody's seen Fringe, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Again, I've never seen much on it. And for $5, for a complete first season, I'll do it. Kill some time. Next up, I found Grave Encounters. I think this DVD is out of print, so I was excited to find a copy. Pretty cool found footage flick. Never seen it before until my wife and I decided to pop it in. Had a great time with it. I liked the storyline. I liked everything about it. Now there's a sequel out there. If anybody's seen the sequel, I'd like to know your thoughts, if it's worth a pickup. Because this one was really good. I'm debating about the second one. So, yeah, let me know, guys. Is the sequel worth it? Speaking of sequels, we have Grizzly 2, The Revenge. The original title was called Grizzly 2, The Concert, so I don't know why they changed it. Maybe to do with some issues. But I love how they have front here. You have Charlie Sheen, George Clooney, and Laura Dern. They die within the first couple minutes of the movie. I guess that's the one to sell the movie. But this was like a film that was lost. Parts of it were together, not together. There's like a weird history of this film. So I guess someone finally found the footage that they had and decided to splice new footage to finally create this movie. So that took years, like a long time for this movie to actually get out there. So of course when they finally gets released by Gravitas Ventures, put it out, you can tell certain scenes were the legit part of the movie, and the rest is added. It looks really good for the Blu-ray, so that's fine. But you get some weird CGI shots. You get some like nature shots to fill in gaps. Part of the concert, there's some weird concert footage that doesn't make sense. But I could see because they wanted to complete this movie, so they had to put this stuff in to make it complete. So I'm very happy and excited to own Grizzly 2. Of course, I watched it as soon as I got it. It's a very cheesy killer bear flick. The original one's still better, but again, to finally own that out of obscurity, very happy. That's what I found at a game store called Hiss. This one looks like a cool creature feature where a guy is trying to cure his cancer and he goes to steal this cobra or this creature that gets his venom, and of course the lover wants her mate back, and she can transform from this beautiful woman to this snake creature and goes like on a killing spree supposedly. I don't know. This looks really, it sounded cool. I watched the trailer. So yeah, if anybody's seen Hiss, I think it's like a Bollywood type film. Maybe not. I don't know. From Vinegar Syndrome, again, The House of Usher. Never owned this one, so I'm very happy and excited to own this one. I think this is like a different type of remake. Of course, from I think the late 80s or 90s. I don't know. It's very hard to put these movies in these slipcovers. They like to stick. But we also have it numbered. This is a 1817. Good year, I think. So yeah, it's reversible cover art. So, The House of Usher, Edgar Allan Poe. Why not? Gotta add some Poe to the collection. Next is another one of those old Scream Factories. I Bury the Living was on their sale. Wanted to grab it because they were cheap. Those old ones are fun to watch. Documentary, In Search of Darkness Part 2. And the first one was really good. It's long. This one's long too. Not the greatest documentary, especially if you're a big, huge horror buff like me and all the other guys out there. But it's fun to own, and not really that much informative, but for new people, they're great because they get more information on those. But for us, it's good to own. I'm glad to own the sequel to In Search of Darkness 2. Next up is another slasher called Little Aaron Merriweather. This is kind of like a, I guess it's like a reverse type slasher, gender-wise, where the killer is a female, and it's picking off males, and there's no final girl, more of a final guy, so it's all switched around. I'm like, alright, it's a slasher, I'm interested, I like slashers, I don't care if it's guy versus girl, girl versus guy, whatever. As long as it has a good story, people are getting picked off, I'm there. So if anybody's seen Little Aaron Merriweather, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. Sounded cool for a different type of slasher. Next we have is Love and Monsters. This movie was awesome. Creatures were cool. It's kind of a coming-of-age type film for this guy trying to track through the world where it's populated by monsters because a meteor came down. They shot missiles to blow it up. They did, but all the remnants turned creatures into mutated creatures. Yeah, awesome flick. Highly recommend it. Next up, another old Scream Factory. The Man from Planet X. Another one of those on sale, so I picked it up. An upgrade I found on eBay from the horror pack. This one is number 26. And that is Mexico Barbaro. It's an anthology, so fine, cool. Upgrade that. From Shot on Video Horror, we have Ron Ford's Monster History 101. The cover art just looks awesome. So it's another anthology, so I can't wait to get this one to watch. Love Shot on Video stuff. Low budget cheese. If anybody's seen it, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that. The Orgy of the Living Dead from Full Moon. I don't know if this one needs a replacement disc. I know there's another release from them, and I heard that one might. If this is the one, please let me know. I got it through Amazon, so I didn't get it straight through Full Moon. Hopefully it's the other movie, because that's still on pre-order. From Mondo, we have Panic Beats. Panic Beats. This was another one that's out of print. The DVD was way out of print from Mondo. They finally released it on Blu-ray. Thank you, Mondo. So happy to finally own this Paul Nashley film. I got number 376 out of 1,000. Again, got the cards in there. Got the little book. So yeah, Mondo Macabro does great stuff with their transfers. Thank you finally for putting out that Paul Nashley film. And they also put out this one called Queens of Evil. Don't know anything about it. It had a freaking slipcover. And usually the Mondos come in red cases. This is a clear case. It's a double discer with all the cards and shit in there. So yeah, I can't wait to dive into this one. And this one's also numbered. I got 489 out of 1,200. Now usually these go get sold out pretty quickly. But if you're into Mondo, they do another release later on, like a standalone release. So if you get out of luck, stay tuned. Usually they put more in stock. I know I got a few of them that are in their blue cases, but I don't care. As long as I own the film, that's the main. Next up we have is called The Remaining. This one I found as a trailer. I forgot what movie I was watching, and it looked really cool. So I found it on Amazon for cheap, so I picked it up. It's like it says it's part disaster film, end of the world supernatural thriller. Yeah, it's weird, like a bunch of people are at a wedding, people start dropping dead, their eyes are turning white, then all this weird shit starts happening, then all of a sudden these weird ghost-like creatures are coming up, grabbing people. I was intrigued, I wanted to see it. So I found a cheap copy. If anybody's seen The Remaining, I'd like to hear your thoughts on that one. Picked up The Rental. I've been hearing good things about this slasher. Again, if anybody's seen it, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Vinegar Syndrome, Satan's Blood. Complete blind buy to me. Can't wait to dive into them. A lot of times their Vinegar Syndrome is weird shit, but it's great shit. Next is a upgrade. Scare Waves. I found the Blu-ray from, it was either on their Etsy or on their Store Envy store that they put out. This one is a double combo pack. It's all autographed and numbered. I got 65 out of 100. So yeah, Scare Waves is a pretty cool anthology. So if you're interested, I'll let me know, and I'll see if I can find the link for you, especially if you want to grab the Blu-ray. Next up is Scary Tales from Vinegar Syndrome. This is their AFGA release. It's another anthology, low budget, fun, looks fun. Next up is a film that I wasn't really going to own. I know about it. I know how crazy it is and everything, and I never bothered with the DVD. I never bothered with any of the Blu-rays releases. And then, who is this? Unearthed. So I had to put it out. I'm like, you know what? I'll buy it. And of course, that is a Serbian film. This is supposed to be the complete uncut release of this movie. If we know what people are talking about, I'll probably get this one to watch at some point. It's not on my big to-do list, but I know about the movie, so I figured, might as well own it. From eBay, I found this independent film called The Siren. This looked pretty interesting, about a bunch of people camping in the woods. A weird siren goes off that turns this cult on that starts killing people left and right in the woods. Alright, I'll give it a shot. The trailer sounded pretty cool. And it's got a bunch of special features to it, so why not? Gotta support your independent horror. Alright, next, I did own the first couple films, decided what the hell, why not? Skylines. The first one was great. The second one was okay, so we'll see how the third one is. Skylines. Next we have, I'm going to put these together. Makes it a lot easier to show them off. Films by Joe Meredith. We have South Mill District. It's a independent, weird gore fest. People are getting turned into alien monsters and everything. So we have South Mill District. The second movie to it called Terramorph. He does the same, as you can see a lot of the gores in there. Yeah. And the third one to this, I guess it's a trilogy, called Variant. Love that artwork. So yeah, that's the back. Guy found all these on his, I think it was his Etsy store. So yeah, you can probably still get these. They're pretty good price, like $8. The shipping was a little high, but again, for independent horror, gotta support it. So if you're interested in these films, definitely look up Joel Meredith, or just do a Google search on South Mill District. Alright. Next up we have is Spell. I fucking love this movie. This movie was so cool. I love the storyline. I love how everything was played out. Very cool, like a voodoo type film, backwoods. Highly recommend it. Then we go to a sci-fi flick. Snakehead Swamp. Yeah, turn your brain off. Fun little creature feature flick. Killer snakeheads. Gotta love it. Another upgrade. Thirst. Again, this was from the Australian DVD box set, since I already had Patrick. Picked up the other two from Siren releases, so goodbye box set. Another shark flick. Tina Tora, also known as Tiger Shark. Another fun little killer shark flick. A little bit boring on most parts. It's more involved with the love triangle between the three main stars. They're like treasure hunters, and the shark is like a secondary character. But you still have some cool killer shark attack scenes. But yeah, Tina Tora, aka Tiger Shark. Next from Scream Factory, The Unborn with Brooke Adams. One I did not own, always wanted to check out. And then I found this at a game store, and I got it for free. I bought X amount of, I think I bought like 3 or 4 titles. You get one free. And they had this for free. And that is the other movie called The Unborn. Don't know anything about this one. I read some reviews on it, and it's a bit of a mixed bag on it. So if anybody's seen this Unborn, let me know. Next up we have is The Vagrant. This is another Scream Factory that was on sale for their that sale that they owned. So I figured, oh, I don't own it. Let me grab it. Next up from Twilight Time. They released their films again. This one is called Venom, also known as, I think, was it the Spider? Legend of the Spider Forest was another name for it. I don't know. We'll give it a watch. We'll see how this one is. I don't know if it's a killer spider weird flick or this woman kills people with venom. I don't know. If anybody's seen this version, I'd like to hear your thoughts. Alright. Finally grabbed Village of the Damned. This is the remake with Superman there. It's a John Carpenter flick. Oh my god, what the hell's his name? Oh wow. Christopher Reeves. Yeah. All right. I'm tired. So yeah, always wanted to pick that one up. We have another Vinegar Syndrome. More of a blaxploitation, but is a killer dong flick. Welcome home, Brother Charles, where he's convicted wrong, sent to prison, comes back. He starts killing people with his giant penis. Yes, it's a killer penis movie. So yeah, it's a weird blaxploitation flick. Glad to have that one in the collection. And finally, I found this for really reasonable price at FYE, and that is the season 11 of X-Files. So now I have to get my ass going and pick up the rest of the seasons because I don't own any of the X-Files. I don't know why, I just never did. So got my ass in gear, grabbed one of them, which is season 11. Season 11. I'll grab the rest. I heard there's a box set out there that has 1 through 10. This will fit right in the box set. So yeah. Well, guys, that is it for my haul for my end of the month for the pickups of January. I hope you enjoyed this this haul. I'd like to hear your thoughts down below in the comments section of movies I've seen or not seen, or you've seen them and I haven't. And again, guys, hope you stay safe, stay warm, and do what you need to do to be cool. All right, guys, I'm tired. Have a good night and stay safe. Peace.